Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies. As you all know already, the Saints have a very important game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Monday Night Football primetime game, and the Saints injury report is super long. This might as well be the dictionary. I believe we have 16 players on the injury report. That's not even including the guys like Michael Thomas that's on IR. So just bear with me, kind of go through all of these players and how their limitations been at practice. We can start off with Josh Andrews, the center, new center, in for Eric McCoy, who's also not on injury report because he's on IR. He was limited, and then he fully practiced this Friday, so it looked like he'll go. JT Gray, hamstring injury. He hasn't practiced in a couple weeks. He won't be going on special teams. You know, our special teams ace. Then you have Mark Ingram, who played this past week, was limited. And then a full position on Friday, so I think he'll go. Jarvis Landry, they have him limited at practice both days, but he's been like that for the last 3 weeks maybe. I think they're just going to take it easy on him. Maybe the ankle's probably never going to be 100%, but it's good enough that he can play football, so we'll take that. Then you got Marshawn Lattimore. He was on the practice report last week as limited. I thought he may have a chance to play. He did not play. I know he really want to play against the Bucs and Mike Evans. We all know that, so we'll see. The news upcoming on him. I think we will get the news as Saturday or Sunday this time, just because we play Monday. So these guys get an extra couple days, to get healthy. So that's definitely going to help. Then you have Malcolm Roach, who has an illness. He didn't practice the first couple days. I think they're just trying to isolate those guys, keep them away from the team. It was a couple guys with illnesses. Actually, just everywhere. I saw a couple teams had a couple guys sick with the flu. I even saw in the World Cup, the Netherlands had some guys with the flu. I don't know what's going on around this world, but people are getting sick right now. So let's just keep those guys away from the team until they're, back 100%. Bradley Roby, he was finally back last week. Left the game with a concussion, so he probably won't play this week. He hasn't practiced for both 2 days of practice. Then you have Juwan Johnson, who's going to be a big one if he's out. Ankle injury, another ankle injury for the Saints team. He hasn't practiced both days, so that means Adam Chalmers probably going to have to step up. Taysom Hill may play more tight end. I don't know as of yet. Maybe we'll pull somebody up if Juwan Johnson can't play, but as of now, he hasn't practiced both days, and that'll be a huge loss because he's been really, really good this year. Rashid Shaheed, he popped up on an injury report with a back injury. He was limited both days. He's young. He'll recover fast. I'll assume he'll be out on the football field, which also brings me to Deontay Hardy not been on the injury report. We may have 20-plus players on the full injury report, which is absolutely insane to even think about. Kentavious Street, another guy with an illness. He hasn't practiced both days. Like I said, they're probably just trying to isolate those guys, keep those guys away. Then you got Pete Warner. Finally, back at practice on a limited basis with that ankle injury. If he plays, I wouldn't be, too upset if he's out there on a limited basis, just because Caden Ellis and Mario Davis have been playing pretty well. So if he's back, that'll definitely be a big pickup as well. Kevin White, also an illness, hasn't practiced both days. He's been really, really good on special teams as a gunner for us so far. So if we miss him and JT Gray, that's going to be 2 big losses on special teams. Then you got PJ Williams, hasn't practiced at all with a knee injury. So injury list is long. Injury list is very long. I'm used to it at this point. No excuses. It is what it is, man. People are hurt. That's just the nature of this game. People are going to get hurt. It's football. It's a violent, full-speed contact sport. Guys are going to get hurt playing football, and that is what it is. So we do have a chance this week. We do have a chance to get our full defense back. We haven't had our full defense 1 week this season. If in my full defense, at least in my opinion, because Alontae Taylor was hurt early in the season. I'm counting him as a part of the full defense. Lattimore, he got hurt early in the season, so when Alontae came back, we basically lost Lattimore, so we really haven't got to see them together at all this year. The full D-line, the full safety crew, we really haven't seen, even Caden Ellis up to speed with P. Warner, DeMario, the full defensive line, Cam Jordan, Davenport. We just haven't got to see this full defense in stride, and what better way for them to all come back than against the Bucs. That'll be nice. Maybe some guys are going to be out of shape. Maybe some guys are still going to be limping around and not 100%, but to have the guys out there, it would be a blessing. If I don't got to see guys like Chris Harris playing 60, 70 snaps for us, it's going to be a blessing to this defense. The defense will play well, even though they've already been playing, well the last couple games as it is. To get those big names back like Lattimore, Pete Warner, Cam Jordan, so on and so on, that defense would look at least pretty good on paper. The defense we thought we were going to have to start this season, that just hasn't really lived up to that hype. But like I said, the last 2 games, they have been playing well. Dennis Allen's been calling good games, so hopefully they can continue that momentum. Hopefully some of these guys can come out, bring that energy, because we're going to need it. Must-win game. Obviously, you lose, your season's over. It's not mathematically over, but everybody knows it's over. It's damn near over now, but the NFC South so bad that they're just getting hope from anywhere. Also, No Davenport, no Cam Jordan on the injury report. So both of those guys will be playing. They both been on the injury report the last 2 weeks with that eye injury for Cam Jordan. You knew he was going to play. He definitely didn't want to miss that week that he had to miss. Then Davenport, he's finally off with that calf injury, I believe. So he's hopefully up back to 100%, ready to go. We're going to need him. Like I said, the Bucks, they're a good team. Well, I don't even know if they're a good team right now. They're an average team, but they're number one in NFC South, and beating them will be a half game out of first and basically control our own destiny, in my opinion. They'll have to lose another game, but they'll do it because this NFC South is just awful. So everybody in NFC South is probably going to lose 2 more games. That's how bad it is. We're back healthy. I'm excited to see what we're going to do on the defense side of the ball. Also, can't forget about the linebackers, Caden Ellis, Pete Warner, Demario Davis. We haven't seen them 3 together at all this season. At all. I mean, we have, but not like with Caden Ellis playing like this. He's playing at a very, very elite level. He's been the best player on the defense the last 2 weeks, in my opinion. That's how good he's been playing. So to see him, Pete Warner, DeMario, short yardage, I formation sets from teams and things like that, goal line stands. I would love to see those 3 on the field together, flying to the ball, all 3 of them. I think they all can play any position at the linebacker position. Zach Bond has even been playing, pretty good these last couple weeks as well. So this linebacker crew is looking really, really solid, a strong point for this team. I'm definitely excited and hopefully to see all of them on the field together. That's just going to cause havoc for offenses. So we'll see if the Pete Warner plays, but it's looking like he will. I'm sure they would, targeting for this Bucs game for him to come back. And last but not least, I want to talk about Marshawn Lattimore. Obviously, if you're a Saints fan, if you're a football fan, honestly, you already know this. Marshawn Lattimore, he wants to play in this game. He wants to play against the Bucs. Obviously, his son is playing against the Buccaneers. It's like LeBron James. He wants to play with Bronny Jr., man. Marshawn Lattimore wants to play against Mike Evans. Obviously, he's had his number for the last 4 years. Mike Evans maybe has 1 good game against him, and that game wasn't really that great. So obviously Lattimore wants to play the rivalries going on. They had the little fight in the first game where they both got thrown out. I'm sure Lattimore wants revenge from that on the football field. So definitely be looking forward to that. Want to see that matchup. Even if Lattimore's coming off 8 weeks and broken ribs and bruised kidneys, lacerated kidneys, I still think he can shut Mike Evans down. It's just a mental thing at this point. He owns that dude, and I would love to see that matchup. If not, we're going to have to find ways to get creative to cover Mike Evans, because I remember last time we played, as soon as Lattimore went out, he went to the slot. Even when Lattimore was playing, they tried to put him in the slot to try to hide him. So Alontae Taylor, Paulson Adebo, they'll have to be ready for those things if it comes to that. If Lattimore's there, follow him all game. May the best man win. Other than that, man, I hate to say it, but I'm just a little bit on a scale of 1 to 100. I'm about a 6, a little bit excited for this game, man. You never know what the season, is going to hold for us. Got a big one coming up, Monday Night Football. The whole world's going to be watching, so it could be a disaster, or we can kind of take control of the division somewhat, I guess, in some strange way. But we'll see when we play Monday, man. I'll have more on the game before the game kicks off Monday. As always, this is DaBoot Tragedies, and I'm out.